on the stream so you can see this next game between Nicov and Slam. Nicov has returned. Of course, the 4 players that we did not see yesterday, Nicov, the Viper, Dogao, and Doubt, they were the 4 top players from Battle for Angkor. And now we see Slam and his fellow qualifiers facing up against those 4 guys from BFA. So we're here with Nicov and Slam Arena, the map, and once again, I'm with Nobody for this commentary.
Hello, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. We are going to watch this arena matchup between these two absolute beasts in Age of Empires. In the top right, playing in red, we have Slam playing the Ethiopians. And on the bottom left, in the blue chunks, we have Nicov playing as the Vietnamese.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to grab some information about these civs real quick so we can see them side by side. It definitely makes it a little easier for me since we're still trying to learn about these civilizations. We haven't really seen much competitive play of the Ethiopians at all. I'd actually go as far as to say we've seen more competitive play of the Vietnamese than the Ethiopians so far. And Slam picking this civ up here, I wonder what his plan is going to be. This is definitely a very strong late game civ with torsion engines in the Imperial Age, giving them some huge potential for massive damage with siege onagers and rams and, well, you name it. They've got it all. Let's have a look at the Ethiopian tech tree real quick.
Would you like to review it?
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I was just showing it on the stream so people could see what I was talking about. They get everything. They get everything. They're insane in the late game. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out for Slam. One thing I said before this cast is I would love to see the Siege Tower. I think it's unlikely, even though it has actually been reduced in cost recently in a recent balance patch.
I think it's also a little bit unlikely, unfortunately. It depends on the map. With this particular map, I'm not. I think archers would work better than showtells. Say you put some archers in the siege workshop and then put them across the walls. They can hit a lot of these resources here.
Yeah,
and just the way that Slam's map is, Nikov's map is set up.
Absolutely, especially because they get the bonus that their archers fire 15%, or well, they don't fire 15% faster, they have 15% less reload time, which doesn't quite equal 15% faster firing, but let's put it this way, their archers fire faster, which is great if you want to raid, and they also have fantastic archers. But one of the things that the Ethiopians are great at, and it's strange to me that they're listed as an archer civ, not an archer and siege civ, because their siege is amazing. But not only that,
they are. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, not only that, they also get the pikeman halberdier upgrades for free. So they can put a massive halbs in front of their siege and just absolutely wreck face. But will we get to that part of the game? That's the question.
Well, we will have to see. The Ethiopians are actually the only civ in this entire game that get a full siege line, get bombard cannon, heavy scorpion, siege onager, and all those great technologies. So they are definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they get everything.
I feel like their power curve is they're really good early game. They can be pretty good, probably into Castle Age, early Imperial, and they'll fall off a little bit until they get their torsion engines and their really strong siege. The thing is about that is that those upgrades are very expensive.
Yes.
It is going to have to take them a little bit of time. We're not talking about early Imp here. We're talking about mid, late Imp.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, does he even have access to enough resources to do that? Now, we know that the very prevalent metagame on Arena is to obviously go fast castle, and then most of the time try and grab some relics. And if you can get those relics, then it's certainly more likely that you're going to be able to afford this kind of build. But it's incredibly gold intensive to make all this siege, especially in a 1v1, where you have no trade. So you've not got that much access to gold. It is very limited. Not to mention, let's have a quick look at the map. This is a very aggressive arena map. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it is. The thing about Slam's map is that he has no space to boom in the back at all. If he gets pushed, he's going to lose all of his resources and he's going to lose the game. So it might be in Slam's best interest to play a little bit more aggressive here. And luckily with those extra resources he'll have the ability to do that.
Exactly. Get aggressive. Build a siege tower. Come on, Slam. I believe in you. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's an aggressive arena map because not only is are his resources forward, his main gold and his stone are also close to this wall on the right side, but everything else is outside. Even his boar is outside. The gold, the stone, everything. And it's the same for Nicov as well, with the small difference that he has got space in the back, and he does have his gold and stone in the back as well. So, I mean, it has to be a favorite map for Nicov here. What we've not really spoke about is the Vietnamese, actually.
Yeah, the Vietnamese, they get extra HP on their archers. They can see their opponent's starting town center position, but I don't think that's a very big bonus on Arena. You kind of already know where that's going to be. Very strong archers. I imagine the Rattan archer can be very strong in the situation. Very good against halbs and archers from the Ethiopians. But again, we'll have to see if the Ethiopians can bring out that siege later in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? The Ethiopians are an archer civ, according to the tech tree. But their unique unit isn't an archer, and I think if you put the Ethiopians versus the Vietnamese are going to win every day of the week if you were just making archers, because they clearly have the superior archery range, and they have the superior unique unit for archers. But I'm interested to see how Slam can work around that, because if he just goes for a straight-up archer war, I think he's going to fall behind. Slam has to work in that siege, and he has to work in potentially the raiding possibilities that he could open as well with his Shotel warrior. But, I mean, we will see what happens with that. For now, we're going to watch very carefully, because Nicov is actually sending 2 villagers out to stone. Maybe we're going to see that kind of Rattan archer play that we were looking for earlier on.
I mean, you do see sometimes, especially on aggressive maps, we can see sometimes the Mayans go for an early castle and build plumed archers. I wonder if we'll see the same thing with the Rattan archer. Now, granted, the Rattan archer is a little bit more expensive than the plumed archer, not quite as mobile. So we'll have to see if that works.
Yeah, and also bear in mind as well that the Vietnamese don't really get any eco bonuses. Well, they don't get any eco bonus, I guess. I mean, they get paper money, which I guess you could consider as an eco technology.
That's stretching it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. So, I mean, no eco bonus at all, which is not that nice. If you compare that to the Ethiopians, who get 100 food and 100 gold when they reach the next stage, that allows them to do a really nice fast castle and get a bit of extra gold and food in the process as well.
I think I like the strategy from Nicov, though. Even if he goes with the defensive castle, he's kind of set up as far as his unit composition goes. He's picked his one unit. It's very hard for the Ethiopians to counter, and I think it'll bode him well going into later in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the Ethiopians have great siege, but it's only really, truly special in the late game. It's not like the Slavs that get the cheaper units, Siege Workshop units. It's not like the Celts, which Siege Workshop units fire faster. The Ethiopians have to do their Imperial Age technology in order to really make their siege special. So I expect we'll see Slam make some mangonels to deal with the Rattan archers, but it's going to be hard to push against Nicov when Nicov has a castle in defense. I also want to add as well, Nicov 28 population, Slam 27, and Nicov is faster to the feudal age as well. So he has got off to a slightly better start here.
Yeah, I did fail to mention Slam actually had to do loom here because he was housed, and that puts him behind a villager.
Yeah, there you go. And then other than that, it's fairly close. But, you know, this is interesting to me. Slam, he's got 800 food. He's got 137 gold. He doesn't need to be taking gold right now. He could very easily just be taking more wood and prepare himself a bit more to go into gold later. Because now he's got way more gold than he needs. And he's not going to be spending that gold for some time.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a scout fight on the top left.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like, I think Slam... No, Nicov, who's going to win? Oh,
no, it's Slam. It was Slam. Okay, I think I was slightly ahead of you.
You can never tell. You can never tell.
Yeah, it's always difficult. It's always like a fraction of a second. Because although this game runs in seconds, each second has many like frames, I guess, where the game is running. So anyway, I'm just going to speed things back up to normal speed. So I think we're about in time with each other. We see Slam with a stable blacksmith. That's interesting.
Well, this is a sign of aggression.
Yeah, it is, but it's not what I expected at all.
Yeah, well, Slam's going to want to... We said he had to get aggressive with his map. He's going to go into a few scouts, I think, try to secure these relics early on in some map control.
Maybe scouts, but I don't know how I feel about this. I was hoping we'd see an archery range. Now, sometimes when you see the Britons on Arena, you'll actually see Briton players adding 1 or 2 ranges, making some archers in the feudal age, and then upgrading crossbow and just basically controlling the center of the map. And like you said, he might be looking to do that to grab the relics, but so far no scout coming out. He's sent 4 villagers over to gold, so It's an interesting build order so far. I'm getting the feeling like he is going to add his second and third TC, maybe. Let's not forget he will get 100 food and gold when he hits the Castle Age as well. Maybe he'll make some knights, but I'm certainly expecting a monastery at least.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed by Slam's build at first here because if you think about it, Ethiopians, if they don't research Loom, they don't even have to build a mining camp and they're going to have enough gold to go up.
Yeah.
If you think about all the wasted resources here, you have to have your villagers mine 100 gold, 100 wood for the lumber camp. I think Slam could have been up maybe much earlier if he planned his build a little bit better.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. If he'd maybe planned his build slightly better, he might have the edge to the Castle Age, and that could be the difference between securing one extra relic or not. We'll see. I mean, Nicov right now, 5 villagers on gold, so it looks like he's going to be also maybe adding some monks, but he's certainly going to have enough for that castle, and he's going to be moving those villagers over to build that now, or get ready to build that. Straight there, defensive castle. He's not bothered about getting aggressive with the castle. He just wants to make that Rattan Archer. And I think Nicov, one of the first players to play the Vietnamese that are actually playing it very similar to what you would expect to see from the Mayans.
Yeah, this is what I love about Age of Empires. We're seeing a strategy that I've never seen before. In all my time in watching recorded games, watching you on YouTube or whatever, I've never seen this strategy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And if we look over at Slam, I'm so interested to see what he's going to do with this stable. I mean, I guess he's going to make some... well, I thought he was going to make some knights, actually. But no, he's adding a scout now. But why add a scout now and not 3 minutes ago when he clicked up to the Castle Age? I don't know. But we're certainly seeing that second TC, and we're seeing the third one as well. And I really expected to see that from Slam. What I'm confused by is the stable, and I mean, the monastery, I guess, is expected as well. Nicov... No sign of a monastery here. He's maybe going to let 1 or 2 of these relics go. But let's not forget, once he's got those Rattan Archers out, he will be able to start taking back that map control. And the Rattan Archers are incredibly strong.
Oh boy, and we're seeing a siege workshop from Nicov too. That means he's going to come out with some mangonels. He's going to try to get into Slam space. And the Ethiopians, they do not get redemption.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome to see, actually, because the nice thing about what Nicov is doing here is he's doing it hidden. Slam has no idea because it's all well behind the walls. So even if Slam was to bring his scout to the edge of the wall, he's certainly not going to see the castle. He's certainly not going to see the siege workshop. This is nice because Nicov might catch Slam by surprise here with surprise aggression. Slam is probably thinking that Nikov's adding a second and third TC behind those walls. We know that he's not, we know.
Now, the interesting thing for Nicov is he still has a lot of gold. He still has 1 on stone. What is he going to do? Is he going to go up to 3 town centers? Or is he going to keep pumping at the military, pump out the mangonels, go forward with the castle, go for an early imp?
I think we might see a second town center, but I don't know about a third. He's going to be spending a lot of wood on making these mangonels, so he's not going to be able to really get the wood he needs to build that third TC and keep mangonel production going. So he has to choose one or the other right now. But there go the Rattan Archers, and these guys are really nice. I mean, right now, okay, they don't look that formidable, but as he gets to the Imperial Age and as the upgrades start coming in, these guys are going to be pretty strong. Now, of course, the monks will be able to get a conversion, but monks not going to be able to take control of the map quite like the Rattan Archers, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, we're seeing Bodkin Arrow coming in right now, and that's going to give them a lot more power. The nice thing about actually an archer with 6 attack, you could say the same of the longbow, it actually does a lot more damage versus mangonels, double damage if you calculate the difference between the armor and the attack.
Yeah,
so that 6 attack really helps against mangonels.
Oh, and Nicov, I love it. He's adding petards. We're going to see a boom, boom, boom. And the second one comes out, and he's already weakening the wall a bit. Now, he doesn't even need to do this, but, the petard's coming in, and that's 2. That's all he needs. This is going to really catch Slam, I think. Slam, though, with a siege workshop of his own, is making a mangonel, so we'll see if he can defend with the mangonel here, but if not, then Nikov's got a direct entry into Slam's base. He's going to be throwing those Rattan Archers in there. And let's look at really where the Rattan Archer's strength is. That 4 pierce armor. It's fantastic.
It's going to be all about the micro in this situation. Let's see if we can see a big mangonel shot, some conversions. If not, it's going to be a hard game for Slam.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see now, as these Rattan Archers enter the wall, I think, the thing is here, 6 range versus 9, he is outranged by the monks, and there is the mangonel here as well. It's still going to be fairly tough for Nicov, but if he can just slowly but surely push Slam back a little bit, yeah, Slam's going to be really feeling the heat. Slam, though, immediately adding a second stable and knights. And I think this is a great solution, actually. Because he can see, okay, Nikov's clearly not making monks here. His Rattan archers, they're fantastic at killing archers, but they have no melee armor. And they're pretty weak right now to knights. First of all, Nicov getting a good trade, 1-4-0 with the mangonel. Oh! The mangonel from Slam, though, doing a bit of splash damage onto the Rattan archers. Not much. But these knights, I think these knights are going to turn this for Slam. Absolutely.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to see. Oh, 2 big conversions. And that's going to be it. I think that's going to be enough for the Rattan archers to go down.
That's perfect. 2 conversions straight away. Nicov, though, does get another mangonel from Slam here. But with the knights, there's no way he can defend his mangonel. And Slam now can take the mangonels out. He can take down these Rattan archers pretty easily. Of course, Slam, though, does have +1 defense on his knights. He will probably want to get +2 before he really commits to fighting that. But I think he's in a position where now, if he defends this, he's going to be really far ahead because he does have the extra economy. He does have the 2nd and 3rd TC, while Nicov has only just got the 2nd town center going, and the 3rd one doesn't seem to be in sight just yet.
Yeah, Slam's not completely out of it. He's not completely safe right now. The nice thing for Nicov is this isn't actually like a full all-in. He's actually going up to his 3rd town center now. And still, remember, I don't think Nicov will have to transition into another unit anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, Nicov he kept his options open. He could have stayed on the 2nd, just 2 TCs. He could have just stayed on 1 TC. But now he's coming up against this resistance, and he's clearly having a hard time. Nicov is deciding to add those extra town centers in.
Oh!
Nice mangonel shot. Good stuff there.
Oh! Oh, the pathing too.
Yeah, the pathing could be pretty rough as well. But yeah, with the conversions and the mangonel shots coming in, Slam's put up a great defense, and he's going to be feeling pretty good about that, I think.
Yeah, that's it. I think Slam will be going up to the next stage shortly. The question is, how does he capitalize on this? What unit composition will he be going for next?
Yeah, I mean, right now, the knights are fine, I guess. He's got to be careful, though, because once the Rattan archers get massed up enough, the knights will become very ineffective. The monks seem to be doing a pretty good job of converting as well. But I think Slam will just try and hold until he gets Imperial. And then after that, that's when he really needs to start making a move. If we look at his tech tree, the Ethiopians, their knight line is not good. You know, they don't get bloodlines. That's a really big drawback. And they can't upgrade past Paladin either. So, I mean, I wouldn't continue going on 2 stables. I wouldn't continue committing too heavily to knights. I feel like he's got to go for some Arbalest here, and then combine it with some more siege.
I don't know about Arbalest because the Rattan archer is pretty good. The thing is about the Ethiopians knights, they also don't get plate barding armor, so that's just not an option going later into the game. Perhaps Elite Skirmisher might be a better option, or maybe, I don't even know how Showtells would do, but I think Siege is just the biggest key for Slam.
Yeah,
get that Onager upgrade nice and early.
Exactly, it has to be Siege. But, even Skirmishers for Slam are going to fall short. Nicov has the Imperial Skirmisher, remember, as the Vietnamese, so it's really tough. Maybe the answer is just Siege. I mean, that's basically maybe all he needs, and then perhaps try and do a counter-attack by busting a wall and trying to raid the economy of Nicov. It's a tough game anyway. I feel like this matchup probably does favor the Vietnamese, especially at this stage of the game. But, Nicov should be slower to Imperial in theory. Slam should be able to make it up faster. And with that, he should be able to take a little bit more control. He's currently doing a castle, or saving for a castle.
I don't know. I think this matchup's a little more even. I think Slam should have had a bigger advantage than he did going into the Castle Age, but he didn't make use of it. And I'm interested to see if we actually do get to see that really strong Ethiopian siege. So I feel like this is the stage of the game where the Vietnamese prosper. I think the Ethiopians is getting to that stage, though, where he can start to afford those really expensive siege upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's adding in the 4th TC, and maybe Slam's a little greedy here. I would maybe say, okay, he needs a lot of economy to support this late game army. It is expensive. At the same time, maybe 4 TCs is a bit too greedy, and it's going to slow his Imperial Age time down by too much. Now, Slam can see in this situation, Nicov is clearly committing to these Rattan archers. He just sees more and more and more every time they show themselves. So he knows that Nicov isn't just booming back at home and not doing anything else. But let's see how this fight goes here. Mangonel's coming in, Knight's coming in as well, but no bloodlines could really hurt this for Slam.
I'm at 29 minutes and 12 seconds. Where are you at?
Okay. 29 minutes and 13 seconds. There we go. Great. Now we're even. Okay, cool. So Slam, yeah, with the Mangonel advantage and these Knights, it's actually not too bad, to be honest, because the Knights can easily come in and snipe the Mangonels. So maybe the Rattan archers here not able to keep the Mangonels safe, at the very least.
Here comes a castle from Slam. One of the best ways to neutralize the Vietnamese in this situation would be go for a trebuchet and early imp. Let's see where Slam is. Let's see where Slam is right now.
He's there.
He's already up to the Imperial Age.
Yeah, he's there. He's doing it. And Nikov's not going to be far behind. 200 gold to go.
No, this is going to be a close one.
There you go. I think even using the market there, actually, to get a little faster. Yeah, this is incredibly close right now. And I'm glad, because I'm going to be very interested to see how this progresses once we do hit the Imperial Age. And I think Nikov's probably having a great time playing this Civ as well, because it probably feels quite familiar to him.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one, because Nicov also has enough stone for a second castle, so two trebs at a time. Then again, Slam's going to be up sooner. The thing is, Nicov needs his castles. I feel like Slam doesn't.
Yeah, and what I'm concerned about as well is Slam's made a lot of Knights here, and these guys are really going to fall off. Like, as soon as he hits Imperial, these Knights are just going to be so ineffective. Like we've said already, they have no bloodlines. They've got no final defense upgrade. What's he going to do with them? It's just kind of like throwing away resources, I feel, now at this stage. I guess already so far this game, he had to build something, and he chose to build Knights, which has worked out until now. But from here on, he can't keep making them. He's actually making an archery range. And it seems like he will go down that route of maybe skirmishers, maybe arbalest. But I would go for skirmishers, because that leaves him more gold to make the siege with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing that I find is a big mistake for Nicov, he actually hasn't made a monastery this game, and he had the opportunity to take a few relics and didn't.
Yeah, I was saying that. So has Slam. Slam's had some opportunities as well. He's managed to get 3 relics. There is a relic right here on the right side, which he's not scouted. And that's really his relic for the taking. So, you know, he could have 4 relics right now. He could go for the relic at the south. It's a little risky, but it might be worth trying that now.
Boy.
Oh,
Here comes the Rattan archers and the Knights, and there's a castle going up too.
That's not good for Slam at all. Those Rattan archers getting 3 villager kills, 2 villager kills before they back up. Trying to delay this castle. If Slam doesn't get this castle up and Nicov delays this and kills a lot of villagers, Nikov's going to have a real edge in this Treb war. He really needs to stop
but he
this.
can't take a big Mangonel shot either.
Oh,
He's gonna go back.
Yeah, that was close, though. It was really close. And maybe Nicov can still do something here to slow this down. But I think he wants to make sure he doesn't lose any Rattan archers before he gets those upgrades in. We should see Bodkin Arrow basically as soon as possible. And also, did I say Bodkin Arrow? I meant Bracer. And also 2 trebuchets as well coming out here.
Yeah, 2 trebuchets from Nicov. If you look at the scores, it would say that Slam is way ahead in this game. I don't know. I mean, Slam is only starting now. I think, is he getting the Onager upgrade yet?
Well, what I would say is that Slam has a lot more economy than Nicov, because Slam has more population and he clearly has less army. He's not doing Onager as far as I can tell. Oh no, he is. He is.
He is, yeah.
87% of the way there. This is huge. Slam going to have Onager really quickly here, and it's the perfect unit choice for him. The question is, how will this Treb war go down? Slam's behind in Trebs right now, but I think he'll be able to catch up pretty quickly.
Yeah, Nicov needs to bring more villagers to repair these castles. They're so essential to him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is here, Nicov is relying on his castles to make his primary unit. Slam doesn't need his castles to make showtells. He needs them to do, well, conscription and make trebs. So Slam's making use of his castles really well here. It's not a huge deal if he loses them. Of course, he'd rather keep them alive. He'd rather keep them up so he can have the map control. But yeah, I mean, Nicov really needs them a lot more.
So first castle from Slam going down. We have 3 Trebs versus 3 Trebs at this point. Nicov should take the advantage here. The question is, how many castles does Nicov lose?
Well, Nikov's certainly going to lose 1 by the looks of it. I can't be certain, but I'm certain now. It's gone down. 4 Trebs now for Nicov, though, as he packs them up. And this is where Slam could move forward with his onagers and do some serious damage. We've got elite skirmishers for Slam as well, and I feel like this is a great combo. It's a hard counter to what Nikov's doing, and Nicov might get caught out.
Oh, that was a close mangonel shot. We're seeing the trebuchets distracted with the onagers right now. They need to be hitting the castle.
Yeah, the castle or the other Trebs. I mean, one of those two. Nicov actually the first player to lose a trebuchet here. They're both even on 3. Actually, Nicov just making a 4th one. Looks like Slam should be queuing up some more Trebs as well. But I think Slam has a lot more resources to play with because of his slightly bigger economy here. I'm worried for Nicov. Nicov doesn't have good map control. He's really defending hard here. And in come the onagers now.
I'm really worried for Nicov too. How does he deal with these onagers? He's got no units to deal with onager at all.
Yeah, that's it. Treb's going down. How does he stop that? He's not even protecting the Treb from the knights. Slam's actually going to kill the trebuchet with a knight here. Unbelievable. And there's no trebuchets left for Nicov.
Ethiopian knights, my ass.
Yeah,
They're still pretty good.
He made something of it. I mean, that's impressive. Slam now. 3 trebuchets advantage and 1 castle remaining for Nicov. Nicov, though, adding in the battle elephant. And now, what do you think of this choice? It could be a fantastic choice, actually.
Oh, it depends on how much... it just depends on monks. It's all about monks. Oh, he's suiciding his own skirmishes.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I feel like why not knights? What benefit is the battle elephant going to be? I think you just need them to snipe off the Trebs.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be good to tank a lot of the skirmishers, because if Slam does mass a lot of skirms, then they could take down knights fairly quickly. Whereas the battle elephant's going to have a lot more tankiness there. Nicov losing his 2nd castle now. Slam also losing both castles, and Slam now throwing up a lot of barracks, going straight into Haubs, and that's his immediate reaction to seeing these battle elephants. He can just immediately tech switch. He doesn't even have to wait, because he gets the pike and the halberdier upgrade absolutely free.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Timing is everything in Age of Empires, and when you can have those upgrades already done, save all those resources on those techs, you can put that better into your onagers. It's just a huge advantage.
Yeah, and the big problem I'm seeing right now for Nicov is his access to gold. He's actually going to lose this TC on the right-hand side. All those villagers are going to die, I mean, surely. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's brutal.
The tower rush! The tower rush is real on the left side.
That is, yeah, I'm just gonna replay that for you guys watching in the stream. Oops, maybe not. There we go. Tower rush from who? Is that Slam?
From Slam.
What's he doing?
Yes, on the left. It's getting shut down though.
That makes no sense. I guess he's just trying to be a nuisance and make a distraction, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, in the center of the map, Slam looking incredibly strong over here. And moving in now with the Trebs, with the onagers. I wonder if he can afford siege onagers this game. Is it worth it? And I want to know, has he done torsion engines? I don't think so, because he's lost both of his castles now. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't doing that technology earlier on.
I'm pretty sure he has it, but I don't think he needs it right now. I think this is sufficiently strong at this point. He's just got to push in, maybe add a little bit of rams.
Huge shots with the onagers.
Do this. Not a lot of Haubs here.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge shots with the onagers there, killing a huge amount of Rattan archers at the back. And we also saw those elephants as well, not doing as much as Nicov would perhaps like there, really. Nicov just didn't really have what it took in the end. He didn't have the army composition to deal with Slam. It was a nice idea with the elephants, but it was so easy to counter with the Haubs.
Yeah, well, this goes back to the beginning of the game where Nicov wasn't able to put enough pressure on him. We did see Slam get his good mangonel shots, good monk conversions, and those knights. I think those knights were a good call to try to defend this pressure.
I actually agree. The knights were surprisingly good. And Nicov just couldn't do that much with the Rattan archers, I feel. Another big problem for Nicov in the late game was just that he was getting boxed in as well. He had no real access or map control. Slam had basically the entire center of the map to himself. And I think, yeah, he played a great game. He was able to defend quite nicely from Nikov's early aggression. And because of that, he was just ahead in economy for the remainder of the game. At the end there, Slam 180 population and Nicov down to 125. With a castle in the back and no real military production left, I don't think Nicov could have held on much longer.
I totally agree.
All right, so let's see if Nilpford isn't showing me a countdown, so I'll just keep a close eye on that. Let's have a look at the achievements real quick though here. Military stats: 76 kills for Slam, 44 units lost. Certainly not too bad at all. And buildings lost, basically the same. Slam and Nicov both losing 2 castles.
The villager high kind of evened out a little bit at the end there, but villages earlier on is of course more valuable.
Yeah, well, I think what would have happened is Slam would have reached his villager high much earlier than Nicov. And I think maybe if we look at the timeline, that doesn't really tell us the story, I guess. It's hard to tell, but Slam was certainly ahead in economy. And once he got to 119 pop villagers, he would have stopped. And at the same time, Nicov would have been still trying to produce and churn out those villagers to catch up. Let's also not forget that relic gold as well. That was a really nice additional 1k3 gold for Slam, meaning that overall, Slam collected a huge, 4,000 gold extra, which is a massive amount in a 1v1. Especially in such a, well, I wouldn't say it was a long game. It was certainly a medium-length game. All right, so we're going to throw it across to Nilpford in just a minute. Just having a quick flick through these scores for a second longer while we wait for Nilpford to ready up. Any final comments on that game?
Well, I wish we saw the strategy payout, or we saw some torsion engines or whatever. But it was just a great play by Slam. Just great defense and then great counterattack. He had there was no answer to the onagers. I feel like Nicov put in so much into that push and just didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. The answer wasn't there for the onagers. I think that was probably his biggest issue there, to be honest. All right, so Nilpford should be ready in just a second's time, so I'll throw it over to him now.
Okay, guys, very interesting game here. Nicov against Slam. I think probably the game was decided before it actually started. Vietnamese on Arena, what are they really good at? Let's take a look at the tech tree again. Okay, they have better archers. Free conscription helps out as well. Imperial Age skirmisher is not really the greatest thing. The Cav isn't great. Monks aren't the greatest either. So, you're basically forced into going for archers then. Fine with me. But let's see how Nicov tried to take the aggression here. Slam instantly put down 2 extra TCs. As we can see, Nicov on his side only now throwing down the second TC with only 2 villagers here. So he's heavily behind when it comes to villagers. And now let's see how the aggression is going on. Nicov is now keeping up the production of his Rattan archers, is putting some mangonels, and is going for petards as well. But what is he really achieving? At the moment he still has to fight against the stone walls, and now the first petard is getting in. But just look at this beautiful wall here of Slam. He's getting everything done, like zoning out this whole area. Maybe this is an attack point here at the weak spot, but it feels like Slam can buy so much time by going for defensive mangonels, the monks. He can get the relics as well, and at this point